Do today is change the starter motor on a 205. Basically this one, when you turn the key, you get the dash lights coming up and that's it. So what we're going to do is, the first step is there's a bolt that you've got to undo here and take those off. So you've got live there and that fella there as well. So they're the first ones to come off before you take any bolts off this side. You've got this here that you need to unplug, like that. Sometimes you'll find it's connected directly to the starter motor. This one's got like a little extender on it. Right, and then what we do is we have one of these heavy duty bolts, and we're going to undo the 3 bolts that are on this side. Actually a bit of a sod solution, but we've been here before, so they're easy for us. What we did actually do was fit a, don't put metal on battery, whatever you do. What we did actually do was try changing the starter motor before this point, because what happened was the starter motor got sort of like a run-off, so it was still running while the car was running. It's only actually supposed to just initially start the car, sort of move the flywheel and get started, but it was still just going, which burned it out. But yeah, we put a replacement one in, which was second hand from my own parts stash, but it turned out that that one was bad as well. What is it with diesel 205s and starter motors? Terrible. Right, so once you've got the third bolt out, you're going to manoeuvre the starter motor through past the power steering bracket and through where the alternator is here. There's a small enough gap to just about get it through. You could perhaps do it from the bottom of the car if you really wanted to, but we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it the easiest way. Mike's going to hold on to it just in case it falls straight through and damages the radiator. That would be a bad day, wouldn't it? I'm sure there's plenty of you that are going to watch this who have a better way of doing this, but we're just going to stick with what we know. But one thing to take into account when changing the starter motor on these is they're very quite deep down, so you have to take quite a lot of the airbox system off. So you have to take a pipe off here, take the airbox out from this side just to get accessibility, or else you just won't be able to get in there at all. And that's where it exposes the 3 bolts over here. You've got to be very careful when refitting it to line it up with the flywheel. Also just check that to make sure there's no damage, no teeth that have gone or anything like that. Because if there is, you're going to have to change that. This one's, because it's hanging on all the weight, this one's always the hardest one to get out because it's the heaviest now. But yeah, it's either going to be the starter motor that's the issue, or we're going to have a bad earth here, but we'll have a little look and see. Right, what I'm going to do is just put the bolts in loosely, but try and align it where there's like a lighter patch where the starter motor sat before, so we kind of know that roughly that's where it's got to be again. Again, just making sure that we don't foul anything on our way, because we don't want to do that. That one comes up a little bit. It's a big old unit, this. Also, what you want to make sure you do is you put 3 bolts in loosely, so you don't end up shearing anything. So again, you don't want to do that. But we know that this is a new starter motor now, so what we'll do is we'll do it up nice and tight, purely based on the fact that once this is in, it can't be that's wrong. So the likelihood of it being a bad starter motor, brand new or refurbished, is unlikely. Bolts going long way into the side of the gearbox. The side of the gearbox, I like it. Might not be the side of the gearbox. Gearbox mounting. Right. Got to pay close attention, I think, to where the 2 sort of brown connectors go in. I'm thinking the red one goes first and the black one goes on top. But we'll give that a try and see. Process of elimination, I think.
Memory serves me correctly, it was red on first.
Maybe that's where we went wrong.
Something about a nice shiny engine part.
Yeah, I know. Kind of makes you want to continue just changing it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. All brand new.
Brand new.
But quite lucky with the engine on this one because quite a lot of it is brand new parts anyway.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of well looked after. Obviously the starter motor was quite old. I mean, Dale said it was factory starter motor, didn't it? So
Yeah.
more likely it was in there from the beginning.
Yeah, definitely a factory unit.
So even if it's not the starter motor, it's always worth
changing it out at some point. Just remedial repairs that you have to do.
Yeah, it doesn't serve the new one anyway, but if it's not that, it'll go anyway. So there's no hard and loss, you know, £70, new car parts. I was happy.
You missed out on your discount code though, didn't you, over Easter?
Yeah, the Easter sale one, that's why.
Yeah, we're still doing the bottom bolt up. So basically you do the bolts back up again because you don't want to stretch the wiring. You don't put the wiring in first just in case the starting motor slips down and you lose control on the situation. Alright, put that one in there.
So I'm doing the bolts that already come with it.
Yeah. Copper. Right. So we're thinking the red one first, and then we're thinking the black one.
Yeah.
Somewhere around it. Make sure they're nice and straight.
Is that all the connections?
Yeah. It's a relatively simple thing.
It's got to be the quickest thing we've ever changed anyway, the starter motor.
Well, those 3 bolts were a bit of a nightmare to begin with, weren't they?
They certainly were. They were done up real tight.
Needed a real crack in ourselves.
Especially that bottom one, the big chunky one.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we just need battery back on.
So always imperative that you disconnect your battery. So what we're going to do now is put this rubber bit just back over here because it's like sort of a weather seal, and it's just a primitive way of making sure that no water, oil or diesel, whatever, ends up going on the starter motor connections. Make sure they're nice and tight because if they're loose, what they do is they'll vibrate and work loose, and what you'll find, you'll come back to the car and it won't start. And you won't car down, start motor's coming out again. It's not, it's just loose. So yeah, that's good. So what we're going to do now is just get all the airbox bits back in place because the car sounds like a van at the minute, more so than usual. And hopefully that's us on the way. So road tire repair.